Hi everyone, this is YC. Welcome back to YC Cooks and Bakes. Today I'm going to be making an eggplant parmesan, and I'm going to get started by washing the eggplant so that I can peel it. And I just wanted you to know that I bought this eggplant at Aldi. Look how big it is. And I really don't buy them this big usually. I've not actually even seen them this big. I usually just buy like two regular or two medium size for my family, but this is the only one I purchased this time. They were all huge. All of them were big. So I only needed this one to do the whole meal for my family, and I need to wash it before I start cutting on it, with a peeler and a knife and everything else, because they just sit in the store like this, and you want to get all sprays off of them and germs and stuff like that. So I hope you come along with me to see me do my eggplant parmesan. And if you're new here, please comment, like, and subscribe so that you can get all my recipes that all my faithful subscribers know that I put into the description. Okay, I'm going to wash this through the sticker. It has been a very, very busy day. I've been doing laundry all day long. You know how it is. Okay, I washed all sides. Really, really good. There, see? And I will meet you at the counter so we can do our next step in this eggplant parmesan. Okay, we're at the counter, and you know that we had washed this. Okay, and I'm going to cut the ends off, and I'm going to peel it. And then I'm going to dredge each slice in flour, and then some egg and some breadcrumbs. And I sprayed a couple cookie sheets, and I'm going to cook the eggplant slices in the oven before I assemble them into my eggplant parmesan, which I will be using a Pyrex sprayed 9x13. So, okay, let's go ahead and cut these ends off. Like that. Okay, and that will help us to be able to peel this better. See, that's what I'm doing. And now some people put Parmesan in their breadcrumbs. I don't. I use the Parmesan and the mozzarella separate from the slices. I'll put them on top, I don't put in anything in the breadcrumbs, and that they already have, they're Italian seasoned. There's many different ways to do it. And because my family is meat eaters, I am going to put a loop of beef sausage cut into this eggplant parmesan. You don't have to. A lot of people just have the eggplant parmesan, and then they serve it with like spaghetti. I'm not serving it with any kind of pasta tonight. I'm going to have garlic toast, because we've already had egg noodles this week and macaroni and cheese that I made. So tonight we're just going to strictly have the eggplant parmesan that has the beef sausage, and then, with the garlic toast on the side. I'm not used to working with one this big. Okay, so I'll finish peeling this and come back. Okay, it's ready to cut now. It's ready to slice. I'm going to try to slice them in reasonable slices, make a nice 9x13 dish. You don't want them too thick and you don't want them too thin either. And then when I'm assembling them in the pans and in my dish, if I have to cut one in half for it to fit properly in the pans or even in the Parmesan casserole, I will cut it accordingly, because you can do that. You know that. Now, some people put salt on these for 3 hours in the sink in a colander, and then they paper towel dry them off. I do not like that step. I have tried lightly to salt these and do that like 3 or 4 times already. It makes, and I try to dry it off, it makes them salty every time. I've even gone as far as rinsing them off, which defeated the whole purpose of trying to get the water out of them to begin with. I honestly feel that after I oven bake these first and then put them in the casserole, they are completely fine. I don't taste no bitterness, and I don't think they're full of juicy water. I think that adding that step just literally adds more sodium to your dish, but that's my opinion. If you find that it works for you and that's what your family, is used to doing, then by all means do it. But which it just doesn't work for how I like it. Look at this. Just see how big this is. So chances are I'll be cutting that. Wouldn't that make, you ever hear those people who make the pizzas on eggplant? Wouldn't this make a great one to make little mini pizzas? Like if you didn't want to use dough, Oh, just thought of that. Okay, I'm going to put these aside in a container. I took out a container to put all these in until I can get them processed. So, they're so big. Ooh, don't want to cut myself. This is a sharp knife. Okay, just like that. And the first thing I want to do before doing my egg and my breadcrumbs is to, and I didn't, I don't have this seasoned or anything like that. You can, but I'm not going to put that much on it where I need to do that. I lightly flour it like that, just so that the egg and the breadcrumbs adhere to it better. That's what I do. Some people leave this step out. However you want to do it. I'm just showing you tonight how I'm doing my supper. Okay? And I will get all of these done, and I will bring you back. Okay, I'm back. I have the peeler and the knife and the cutting board put away, and the plate of flour. All of that is out of our way now so that we can finish breading our eggplant slices. And in this little bowl, I am doing the whipped egg that you put on before the breadcrumbs. And I already put some breadcrumbs in my bowl. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, there's some in there. And I want to show you what my eggplant look like after I have floured them. They're just in this container, and you can see that I have floured, each one. So the next step is to put it in the egg, and then I'm going to line it on a couple sprayed cookie sheets. Okay. You can use a fork or tongs, or you can use your hands. Just keep one hand, for the egg, and then the other hand for the dry breadcrumbs. You've heard of that before. I tend to use a fork. I'm not really good at using the tongs. And kind of use your fork to flip up the breadcrumbs on the side, like on the edges. That way they can get some breadcrumbs too, see? So both sides are done. You have to flip it over in the breading, and then you just put it in your pan. And let me preheat my oven. Hang on one second. Okay, I just put it at 350 degrees, which is also what this bakes at. When this is all said and done with and it's in my Pyrex, it bakes up in like 35 minutes. And the reason why it goes so quick after that is because these will have already been, baked. So, okay, so we'll go on to the next one. You take your floured eggplant, you put it in your egg mixture, and you flip it over. You want to make sure you get egg on both sides. And you want to kind of go on the edge like that and get, all the drippings off, because you have a lot to do, or you'll be cracking a lot of eggs. And you don't really need that much egg on it. And there you go. There's the next piece in your pan. And so when you come across, I'll show you what happens when you come across this, where you get along the edge. I'll show you what to do. Now keep in mind, this is not the eggplant parmesan I'm assembling right now. It's the preparation I'm doing to do the eggplant parmesan. I'm just simply breading the eggplant slices right now. Okay. Now, you see I have this great big piece, but you see in my pan, I only have a little rectangle here. Well, I'm going to cut that rectangle off of this one and fit it in there so that my entire pan is covered with the eggplant. And you might think, oh, I don't want it to do that. I don't want to ruin the slices. But you're going to need those odd slices when you go to assemble your eggplant parmesan. Because, like I'm using a rectangular Pyrex dish for that, just like this cookie sheet is rectangular. Unless you just happen to have a beautiful dish that's nice and round and deep. I have a round pan, but it's not that thick for, for eggplant parmesan. You put the sauce in that, it'll just drip over in your oven. So I am going to get a knife, cut this, and make it fit here. And I'm going to keep on putting all of this eggplant in on the cookie sheets so that we can bake them for about 6 to 8 minutes per side. And I'll bring you back. Just real quickly, I wanted to bring you back here. I'm already on my second pan, but I do need a little bit more breadcrumbs inside my bowl. So you just take out the canister again and you pour some in your bowl. There is no set amount that you start off with. You start off with a little bit and you add as you go. You just sprinkle in your bowl to constantly to keep coating the eggplant slices until they're all coated. There's no set pour this amount in your bowl. You just do it as you go. There's the oven ready, so I will get these done and I will bring you back. Okay, we're back. I finished, putting all of them through the egg wash after the flour and then breadcrumbs. And because I had such big pieces, I did have to crack another egg. And if you find that that keeps happening to you, you have to keep cracking eggs. Add a little bit, a couple teaspoons of water to it and whisk it up again to make it stretch a bit. So this is what they look like. See, and you can see where I've cut some into half moons to fit the pan, which will come in handy when I'm going along the edge of the casserole too. And then I have this pan. So between these two pans, and I normally have two, by the way, the slices aren't this big, but anyway, this will definitely be enough to make my eggplant parmesan. So my oven, like I said, you heard that it beep earlier, it is preheated. I'm going to put these in the oven for 6 to 8 minutes each side, and then I'll bring you back. Hi, I just wanted to bring you back while I have those in the oven. It's not like a waiting game. You don't sit there for 8 minutes and think, oh my goodness, and then turn it over and, oh, I'm waiting again. It's not a waiting game. I took time to clean up all the things that we use, the different plates for the egg and everything else, so your flour, etc., etc. And then after you flip them over, you have other stuff you can do, like shred your mozzarella. And then just a real quick note on the Parmesan. If you look, I've mentioned this before. I don't know if anyone remembers, but if you get the real shredded Parmesan, it is actually cheaper than getting the canister that has fillers and stuff in it. Don't know why, because this is healthier. So why not, for a cheaper price, get the healthiest you can get? Now, I don't know if your Aldi has done this, but it's not with all the bricks of cheese. This here you find at the end of the vegetables up above where they keep the pizzas. We don't know why this is not with the other shredded cheeses, like the Mexican and taco and all that, or why it's not with the brick cheese, but it's not. You will find this up above, where the already made salads and pizzas are. And I just wanted to let you know that. So I'm going to turn these over now and let the other side go. Well, I shred this mozzarella, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm back. I did want to tell you something else. And each time I think, this isn't my first rodeo on making eggplant parmesan. So each time I think of something, I want to be able to share it with you, so you don't go through all the hassles or anything that I did. If you find that they're not browning right away, the slices, you can spray your canola or your olive oil can across them, because that's edible. Any kind of cooking spray like that is edible. You spray lightly, flip them, and then spray again. Or if you prefer, you can melt some butter and then use a little brush and lightly butter the tops of each one, and they'll brown up beautifully and nice and crispy and have a nice butter flavor. And you'll be so pleased with your eggplant slices. But I did want to tell you that, because you don't want to leave them all like cakey and floury or with just like raw breadcrumbs on them. So if you feel like they're not browning like they're supposed to, spray the cooking oil or put melted butter on them, and you will notice a big difference, and they will brown a lot easier, and they will be oh so very scrumptious when you go to put them in your eggplant parmesan. And I will bring you back again. Okay, we're back. I have them out of the oven now, and you can see you can see the brown marks. You might be able to see it better on like this one. You see the brown. Anyway, you can see where they have brown on them. And when you put your fork in, you can tell that they're cooked all the way through. They don't feel that the sponginess like when they're raw. You can feel like it goes like right through. Okay, so we're gonna assemble our eggplant parmesan now, and you take your sprayed Pyrex, and now keep in mind I'm gonna be putting some meat in mine too, because not all, but I have some family members that think a meal without meat? What? Huh? What? No. Okay, so a little bit of sauce in the bottom. And then I just go like this. You've seen me do this in other videos where I spread it around. I see where some of the videos of eggplant parmesan tell you to put like 4 cups right away. I'd rather have some between each layer than to put your whole, to put it all in right away. I mean, come on. You know, you just do it the way you want to do it, the way you think it should go, and the way you think it'll be oh so delicioso. There. So you got it spread all in the bottom. Okay. And you're going to line up some, you're going to start putting in your eggplant. And whenever you have those pieces that have the edge, you can put it right along the edge because you know it automatically. It fits already. You already know that. Okay. And we're going to just start layering it. Okay. And this piece. And if you have any open sections, you can cut or fit another piece somehow. See if this one will fit in here because it looks like there's a gap there. So this is our first layer. Okay. And then the next thing you want to put is let's see. I'm going to probably put a little bit of sauce on each one, like just drizzle some. Okay. And then I'm going to put the cheese. Okay, like that. That's probably where I'll sprinkle some of my meat too. And like I said to you, you don't have to have the meat on yours if you don't want. You can, I used to take the Italian brats and take the skin off and empty out the Italian seasoned meat all over it, but I don't want to do that today. So I'm just going to go like this. It got dark so early tonight. Got dark like about, what, 5:30, something like that. Oop. Old man winter is coming. Coming to get us, and I don't mind. I want it to be a little bit cooler. Okay, that's good for right now. You see how I did my meat? And then I'm going to sprinkle on. And if you want to season your eggplant slices that has the Italian breadcrumbs, if you just want to use like a salt shaker and season them like lightly and put garlic and stuff, you know, that's completely up to you. You can do that because you don't want this to be bland anyway. But to do that step, that takes the moisture out of and the bitterness out of the eggplant, where you soak it in salt for 3 hours. I definitely would skip that if it was me. If it works successful for you, then I would love to hear your story about why it works so great for you. Okay, and then at this stage, you want to put a little bit of the mozzarella that you shredded. And then, of course, you're going to leave some for the top too. And this will go in your 350-degree oven for 35 minutes. And I am going to put, like I said, I'm going to put garlic toast next to it for my family. And that's what we are having for supper tonight. Okay, so this looks really good. See? And now you do your next layer. You just start layering it on. And I may not do any more layers than this, even if I have eggplant, because my Pyrex isn't put so high. And I never did buy an eggplant Parmesan dish or a lasagna dish like I've always wanted. Maybe I'll ask for it for Christmas or something. So this looks good like this, like that. And any leftover pieces you have like this, you know what you can do? That's what you can do with them. I don't know if I told you this. Pardon me. But eggplant is one of my most favorite vegetables to eat. Yum. Okay, let's put on a little bit more of this. And you can put more on this time, because what's going to happen is it's going to sink down. I mean, you know that, right? All right. And we're going to spread it out. And if you are going to serve yours with, spaghetti, you can have extra sauce on hand, or have a deeper dish and add a lot of sauce. In which case, that's probably why they started off with the 4 cups, because they're probably going to serve theirs. Usually in a restaurant, they serve it over spaghetti. But if you're going to serve yours with spaghetti or linguine or something, by all means, add a lot of sauce. I'm adding just the right amount, because we're going to have it like this, and then with our garlic toast. So, just depends on how you want to serve it. That's what we're going to do. So, have me. I will just die if I don't have meat. Just have to. No meat? What? Bah, humbug. We're gonna die. Okay, now more Parmesan, because after all, this is eggplant Parmesan. And then I'm going to put more mozzarella on it. And that's going to be it. It's going to go in the oven for 35 minutes. And that's my dinner idea for tonight, is eggplant Parmesan. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope you give this a try sometime. And I'll put what I did in the description. Good night.